Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful, very simple waffle stitch bandage top. It has coverage both at the front and at the back, and it has a lace up at the top of the shoulder. So this is the back side of the top. As you can see, it's all covered up, and it's a stretchy kind of stitch, so it favors such styles. So many people are usually asking for something that creates back coverage. This is one of them, and it's not a really a see-through stitch. It's a non-see-through stitch, and it creates a very good texture. So if you haven't yet tried out my other related videos to the waffle stitch, make sure you check out the playlist in the description box below, and you can get yourselves on a full collection of waffle stitch projects. So I'm matching it up with a simple skirt. This is for another time, definitely, but for now we are focusing on the top. And if you also like, you can use ribbons. I usually see people create ribbons for the knot at the top of the sleeves, and that creates a very cute effect. But for now, we are using what we have, and that is yarn, and let's jump right into the materials. If you like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops, and I'll be leaving all the links in the description box below. So let's begin. Alright guys, so for the materials you will need yarn. The yarn that I'm using is a 4-ply acrylic yarn. It's called Winter King, and I used approximately 2 full balls in order to get my top length, but have 3 balls just to be on a safe side, or if you're making for a bigger size. I am making for a size small, and the bust size that I'm making for is 32 to 34 inches, so which is a size small, almost medium. So this stitch kind of shrinks, so I will be using 2 balls approximately, which is a total of 300 yards. And you also need a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, a 4mm crochet hook, a darning needle to weave in your ends, and 4 stitch markers. I'll find mine later on, but for now I have one here. So let's begin. We're going to start off with a foundation double crochet. For those who don't know what that is, I'm going to teach you how to do that. And the reason why I chose this is because this top is covered up all the way around the bust, and you would wish to have a stretchy kind of stitch, one that doesn't become tight around the bust. So in order to do a foundation double crochet, you're going to make a slip knot just like that, and then you're going to make a chain of 3, and then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the very first chain that you made, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So that is our very first double crochet, the foundation double crochet. Then you're going to yarn over and then turn your work to the back. You see those 2 loops? There's this one and this one. You're going to go into both of them, just like that, into both loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So those are 2 stitches. We don't count this as a stitch. So far we have 2, and then we're going to repeat that. Yarn over, go into the 2 loops at the base, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So I'm going to keep working this until I have a total of 102 stitches. Your multiple should be a multiple of 3 stitches. So I'm going to do 102 stitches for my sample. So yarn over, go into the 2 loops at the base, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2. So that's the repeat for this part, and this will count as round 1, as you'll see later on. So this is creating a double crochet stitch, but at the same time, when it comes to the base, it's creating a stitch-like look at the base as well as the top of the stitches. So continue to do this, and I'll meet you back when I have my 102 stitches. As you keep working, keep measuring this part. So my aim is to get my bust circumference when I get to 102 stitches. I should be able to have my bust circumference across. So guys, I ended up doing a total of 102 stitches, and you should be having a multiple of 3. So remember I told you the first chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch, so I will slip stitch on top of the very first double crochet of the round and slip stitch there, and then you're going to get your darning needle and join the bottom of the round as well, just to form a decent round. And make sure your work is not twisted, definitely. So you're going to go at the base on the opposite side and just secure your yarn like this. So this will create a round. And if we are to get a measuring tape, when we stretch across, so when we just put it like this, we have 12 inches, which is 13 inches, sorry, which is a total of 26 bust. But when we stretch slightly, we go to around 16 to 17 inches. But if we stretch fully, we even go up to 20 inches. So just give it a slight stretch and you should be able to get half of your bust circumference. So the bust circumference that I'm considering is 34 roughly, and I should be able to get a total of 17 inches when I slightly stretch my piece after joining it in the round. So we are now here and we are going to start working our waffle stitch. So to do that, you're going to make a chain of 2, which doesn't count as a stitch, and you're going to go into the very first stitch with 1 double crochet, and then into the next stitch you're going to place a front post double crochet. So go under the stitch and push the stitch to the front, and then place your double crochet as usual, just like that, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then you're going to place a front post double crochet into the next stitch, and that's the repeat for this round. 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then 1 front post double crochet into the next stitch. So keep repeating this, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2, and then a front post in the next stitch. And I'll meet you back towards the end of the round. Alright, so we've come to the end of our round and we're still placing 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. and then front post double crochet into the next, and then you should end your row with a double crochet into the very last stitch. So after your last double crochet, you're going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet. You skip over the chain 2 because it doesn't count as a stitch. So you slip stitch into the very first double crochet of the round. So we're going on to round 3. Round 3, you're going to start off with a chain of 2 and turn your work. Now from now onwards, we are going to keep turning our work every after a round. We are going to always make sure that we are working in the opposite direction of the previous round. So after your chain of 2, which doesn't count as a stitch, you're going to go into the very first stitch with a front post double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 front post double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 front post double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and 1 double crochet into the next. So repeat that all the way around. Front post in each of the next 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next. You should notice that the stitches that get the 2 front post double crochets are as if popping onto the surface of the project, and then the one that receives the double crochet is as if receding to the back of the project, just like that. So repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end of my round. So when you come to the right side of the work, you can see the waffle stitch starting to form. And as we keep working, it will become more and more prominent or more visible when it comes to the texture. So keep working, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 3. So we've come to the end of round 3, and I'm placing a double crochet into the next stitch, and I should end my round with a front post double crochet into the very last stitch. So place your front post double crochet into the last stitch, and then slip stitch on top of the first front post double crochet of the round, just like that. So we're going on to round 4, and round 4 should resemble round 2. So you make a chain of 2 and turn your work, and start the first stitch should get a double crochet. Keep in mind the chain of 2 doesn't count as a stitch. So double crochet into the first stitch, and then front post double crochet into the next stitch, and then the repeat for this round is 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then a front post double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and a front post double crochet into the next, just like we did for round 2. And this is going to create the waffle stitch. The even rounds are on the right side of the work, which creates the waffle stitch texture, and then the odd rounds are on the wrong side of the work, which creates this stitch texture. It's not a waffle stitch. So keep that in mind, and keep working in the opposite direction of the previous round. Make sure every time you chain 2 to start a new round, you turn your work so that you're in the opposite direction of the previous round. And this is round 4. That means it will end with a double crochet into the very last stitch, and then you will slip stitch on top of the first double crochet of the round, and keep repeating rounds 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. It's just a 2 round repeat. the one on the right side and the one on the wrong side. And yeah, I'll be having timestamps in the description box below so that you can follow along easily. And yeah, let me keep working my project until I get the thickness of the top that I want. So my main aim is to get about 8 to 9 inches lengthwise, and then we shall see what to do from there. But do as long as you want your top to be, and I'll meet you back when I have the length that I desire for my top. Alright guys, so I kept repeating rounds 2 and 3 until I got a total of 18 rounds. If you can see, each box here represents 2 rounds. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. 9 boxes times 2, that is 18 rounds altogether. And you should make sure that you end on an even round, which creates a full box, as you can see here. So if we take a measurement, I have a length of 8 inches approximately without stretching, and this is the length of the bundle top that I want to make for myself. And you can make it longer or shorter depending on your preferences. And now we are going to, after your last round, you are going to clean up the, we're going to make a chain of 1 and cut our yarn. Get a pair of scissors and cut your yarn, and then you're going to pull through. Now you're going to lay your work flat, and you're going to get 4 stitch markers. Mine are here, and I'm going to use them to mark the points where I'm going to attach my straps. So to do that, I'm going to just approximate. So if my stitch marker is here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just eyeball, or you can try out your top and see where you want to attach your stitch markers or your straps. So for me, in between this space, I want a total of 7 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then into the next stitch, which is supposed to be a front post, I will place a stitch marker there. And then I'll do the same on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'll attach a stitch marker here. So you have to have 4 points. And this side where we ended our last round is the back side of the work, and you can see where the seam line is. It's not very visible, but we can tell because it has some sort of rugged look, and this is the back side of our top. Now when we turn it to the front side, we are not seeing anything different from what we already have. So we're going to get our yarn, and we're going to attach straps onto our top. And to do that, I'm going to just make a chain of 50 and then attach to this side and then make another 50. So start off with a slip knot and make your 50 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have my 50 chains here. You can make them longer if you want a longer strap, definitely. Maybe I can do a total of 60 to 70. So these are 70 chains. And if I'm to measure the length of my strap, I have a total of around 19 to 20 inches when stretched. So these are 70 chains, and we're going to attach into one of the stitches with a stitch marker. Just go in there with a slip stitch. Just slip stitch into that stitch that had the stitch marker, and then into that very stitch you're going to place a single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet towards the next stitch marker, which is supposed to create our second strap. So just single crochet into each and every stitch until you get to your next stitch marker. Alright, so when you get to your next stitch with the stitch marker, you're going to remove it and then single crochet into that stitch that had the stitch marker, and then make the same exact number of chains that you had for your first strap. So since I did 70, I'm going to continue to make a chain of 70 for this strap as well. After your 70 chains, you're going to make a chain of 1 and pull through, and then cut off the excess yarn, just like this. So this is what our two straps are going to look like. These are going to tie up on the shoulder, just like this. Just like that. And then we are going to repeat the same exact process for the opposite side. So we're going to create two straps that are going to tie up on the shoulder. Alright guys, at this point we are done with the general construction of our bandage top, and the only thing that's left is to weave in all our ends. I'm going to get a darning needle, and we're going to get rid of all the loose ends on this project using a darning needle by weaving them into the back side of the project, just like this. So do what you have to do to get rid of all the loose ends on this project, and you will be through with your project. Alright guys, this is what we came up with. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful piece. I know it's easy, straightforward, but I know some of you guys are in love with such projects, and I have to do a mix and match, a hectic one and a non-hectic one. So let me know down in the comment section if you love the hectic ones or the simple ones, depending on your preference, and I'll be able to mix and match depending on my mood. So thanks for watching this tutorial. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.